Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. So I have been looking forward to and also dreading making this video for a long time. So as of 2 months ago, I made a major career change, and a lot of you may have picked up on it in the comments. I've seen a lot of people asking, Adam, how do you have time to do everything? Between the firewood, the YouTube channel, working, balancing life with family. And my typical day for the last 4 years has been wake up about 7 a.m., help Lana get the kids ready for daycare, turn on my laptop because I work from home, put in an 8-hour day working as a senior finance analyst, and at 4 o'clock shut my laptop down, go out, start a YouTube video. Around 7 p.m. come in for dinner, help Lana get the kids to bed, and then I would edit until about 11 or midnight every night. And so you can see under that scenario, I wasn't really balancing work, life, family, YouTube, all of that. I was actually sacrificing some time with my family. The only real time I got to spend with the wife and kids was getting the kids ready for daycare, getting them ready for bed, and dinner. Now, since we started this YouTube channel about 4.5 years ago, we've seen steady, consistent growth, and that's all thanks to you guys. And because of that steady, consistent growth, after about 2 years, I knew that this had a chance at being a legitimate career. And that's when it became a goal of mine, was to at some point transition from corporate America to being a full-time content creator. And I'll be honest, for anybody out there thinking of starting a YouTube channel with the goal in mind of quitting your day job to do YouTube, it's a lot of work and not a lot of reward up front. In order to get monetized on YouTube to start making money, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And for us, that took us 7 months to achieve that. So for 7 months, I was out working in the evenings, on the weekends, creating content, putting videos out there that I was literally earning $0 on. But eventually, once you get monetized, you start earning money, and then it becomes easier because you're starting to reap some of the benefits of the work that you're putting in. My motivation when I started this YouTube channel, and is still the same motivation today, is I just want to bring you guys cool videos. If I have a project that I think would make a cool video, or if I see a cool piece of equipment that I think would make an interesting video, I want to film it and try to make it as interesting as possible for you guys watching it, and hopefully keep you guys coming back for more videos, watching longer, and just kind of building the analytics of the channel and just seeing the numbers go up. It's kind of addicting. Once you start a YouTube channel and you start seeing numbers going up and they keep going up, it really gets more addicting and gets you really invested in the YouTube channel. So let's talk a little bit about how this is even possible. So the first year that we got monetized, it was in October of 2019. And so from October through December, we made about $1,400 on YouTube. The next year was the first full 12-month cycle that we had. And that second year, we made $14,000. And then in the third year and every year after that, we have at least matched or exceeded what I was making as a senior finance analyst. So in all reality, quitting corporate America to do YouTube full-time is something that's been on my radar for the last 3 years. But the reason I haven't done it until now is because that is an extremely scary leap of faith. You know, taking the sure thing, a steady paycheck every 2 weeks, and giving that up for something that ebbs and flows. You know, in the summertime, YouTube revenue goes way down because people are not inside watching YouTube, they're outside. And in the wintertime, you see, you know, good growth, good view counts, and, you know, your revenue goes up. So you definitely have to budget for things like that. But yeah, it's been something that's been weighing on me for the last 3 years. And I finally made the decision to quit corporate America and become a full-time YouTuber. And like I said, I made this decision 2 months ago, and I'm just now telling you about it. But the last 2 months, I have not looked back. It's been the best decision so far that I think I could have made, and I've been really happy with it. And surprisingly, the transition, I thought it was going to be really weird not firing up my laptop the first week or two. And I tell you what, I sailed right into it. There was none of that weird transition period trying to get used to it. It was right out of the gate. Get going. Another reason I struggled with this decision for so long is because, you know, I put a lot of time and effort into my career as a finance analyst. You know, I went to school for 4 years, got a 4-year degree, studied for the CPA exam for 14 months to pass that. And for the last 10 years, I've been working as an accountant or a senior finance analyst. And, you know, it's really hard to walk away from something that you've put so much time and effort into, all for YouTube. You know, this could all go away tomorrow, and, you know, nothing is guaranteed. But again, that's why it took me 3 years to come to this decision. I've weighed the options. It's a calculated risk that I'm taking. We're in a position to take that risk. You know, I'm young. If YouTube does go away, I can always fall back on my CPA and get another job somewhere. But yeah, for right now, I think this is the best move. And I just love working outside. And you know, you guys see all the projects that we do. It is a lot more fun than sitting around a laptop or in an office or in a cubicle. One thing that made that leap of faith a little less scary is diversifying the way that you make your money. So the majority of what we make comes from ad revenue from YouTube. As you guys know, when you watch a video, you get an ad unless you pay for YouTube Premium. But YouTube keeps 45% of that ad revenue, and us as the creator, we get 55% of that ad revenue. So that's kind of the bread and butter of the majority of what we make here on YouTube. In addition to that, there's the firewood business that we do. We sell some firewood, and then all the equipment that we have. If we ever fell on hard times, I can always go out and do jobs for people, brush hogging, box blading driveways, moving dirt, tilling gardens for people with a rototiller. And we have the excavator now. If there's ever a job that would require the excavator, I can't haul it with my F-150, but I could always hire a trucking company to come out and move it to a job if it was worthwhile, and I would obviously build that trucking cost into the cost of the job. But another thing that really helped make this decision possible is sponsored videos. And speaking of which, today's video is sponsored by Ariat. Ariat's been a sponsor of the channel over the last 2 years. I'm sure you guys have noticed that these Ariat pocket tees have pretty much been my uniform in the summertime. And after wearing Ariat clothing in just about every video for the last 2 years, one thing I will say is they are made to work in. They are rugged enough to withstand working outside in the elements, but light, breathable, and flexible enough to allow you to be comfortable to get the job done. Right now, through Monday, May 29th, they are running their Memorial Day sale with clearance items up to 20, 30, and even 40% off. Definitely worth checking out the link in the description, perusing through, and seeing if anything catches your eye. Now, the other thing that had me concerned about leaving my job as a senior finance analyst is, what are my friends and family going to think? You know, when somebody asks you what you do for a living and you tell them you're a YouTuber, some people might roll their eyes and some people might not really respect that as a real career. But the way I see it is, I found a job that I absolutely love. It keeps food on the table and keeps the mortgage paid. And as the saying goes, if you find a job that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Now, I will say the job that I just walked away from was easily the best job that I had had prior to YouTube. I got to work from home. I got 23 vacation days a year. I rarely ever put in over 40 hours a week. In comparison to how I started my career out of college, I worked in Big Four public accounting at Ernst & Young, putting in 55 to 70 hours a week. Basically, wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, and repeat that process all over again. Never would have had time to think about a side hustle or starting a YouTube channel. And that's one thing, I've always been a fan of having a side hustle. From the time I was a little kid, I used to cut lawns in my neighborhood growing up. And then even when I transitioned to my new job, I actually started a lawn mowing business. I had about 10 lawns that I was cutting in the summers, and I could do all 10 of those in a week, and that was an extra $300 down in the city of Pittsburgh, $1,200 a month. That wasn't bad side hustle money. And then it got to the point where we had still some more free time, and we had a fire pit in our backyard. And I'm sure some of you guys have heard this story before. I was looking for some firewood to feed our fire pit, to, you know, host some events and stuff, have friends over, have a fire in the backyard. So I got on Facebook Marketplace, saw some people that had trees just taken down, bought my first chainsaw, went and cut them up, brought them home, split them up, and that was so therapeutic to come home from an office job every day, turn on some music and just split some wood in the backyard. And I enjoyed it so much that eventually I had more firewood than I could have thought to burn in 10 years in our little backyard fire pit. So me being, you know, having the entrepreneurial spirit that I have and liking side hustles and side gigs, I got on Google, typed in, can you make money selling firewood? And I'd never really been into YouTube much, but that is where Mike Morgan's number 17th video ever came up that said, can you make money selling firewood? And that was where everything changed for me. I will put a link in the description below to that video just so you guys can have a reference point of what completely changed the trajectory of my life and my career was watching Mike's channel and seeing all of the stuff that he was doing, walking out his back door and just being able to walk right into the woods. As I mentioned before, we lived in the city of Pittsburgh, and so pretty much a year after getting heavy into YouTube, we started shopping for property. And I think when we first started shopping, we were looking for a minimum of 2 acres, and then it was 5 acres, and then it was 10 acres. And I think when we finally found this property, we had had 2 or 3 properties fall through. Somebody either outbid us or the seller decided they weren't going to sell the property anymore. So we walked through this property, and honestly, I spent more time in the woods at this property than I did looking through the house, which was probably a mistake looking back now. But yeah, after having 2 properties fall through, we walked through the house, we put in an offer the next day, and the owners came back and said, hey, we have multiple offers coming in. Submit your best and final within 48 hours. And I said, I'm not losing another one. I fell in love with this land. The fact that we were looking for 25 acres and this one had 44, it was almost double what we were looking for. And so I went back to the seller and I said, hey, I will give you full asking price, but you have 1 hour to accept. I didn't want to give them time to go back and try to get competing offers or get into a bidding war. And luckily they accepted. And to be honest, I actually think that they were selling the property for less than what they should have. And so I think even though we went full ask, we still ended up coming out pretty good on the deal. But yeah, we moved into this property in December of 2018, and January of 2019, we got a crazy snowfall. I think we had 16 inches of snow, and I recorded our very first YouTube video where we were using our side-by-side to plow a bunch of snow. And again, back to the root of my motivation for making videos is I just thought, hey, I think that'd be pretty cool to see a little Polaris Ranger 570 with a snow blade on it plowing 16 inches of snow. And from there on, the rest is history. We just started making videos, and I think when we first started, we were doing, 1 video a week, 1 video every 2 weeks. And then over time, it has just slowly progressed to 1 to 2 videos a week, 2 to 3 videos a week. And that's where we are now. So what does that mean for the channel going forward? Well, hopefully more of the same. The last thing I want to do is bombard your guys' subscription feeds with, 2 videos a day or anything like that just because I'm doing this full time. And like I said, I've actually been doing this full time for the last 2 months now. And what I've noticed is, 1, I'm getting to spend more time with my family, which I'm very grateful for. But 2, I'm spending more time on videos. So instead of doing a daily upload or anything like that, I'm trying to bring you guys videos of projects start to finish, or at least as close as I can. Like the roadside firewood stand, for example, I probably had 8 to 10 days into building that. And I didn't want to spend 10 days on one video, but when I was still working as an accountant, that would have taken probably 8 to 10 videos to make, whereas I was able to spend 2 or 3 days on one video. And I think that whole roadside stand build project was broken down into just 3 videos. So hopefully that makes it more enjoyable for you guys. You get to see more of a project getting done in one video rather than piecemealing it out. So yeah, that is the update in a nutshell. I am now a full-time YouTuber. I guess maybe when friends ask what I am now, I'll just tell them I'm a consultant for Google. Who knows? But yeah, I am extremely grateful. This has been a dream of mine and also a fear of mine for the last 3 years. Like I said, it was a scary leap to take this jump, but again, the last 2 months have been awesome, especially in the summertime, being able to go outside and work with my hands every single day. I know a lot of people will say, oh, you get to make money improving your property. Well, the way I see it is the projects that I'm doing, I'm not getting paid to do the projects. I'm getting paid to do the filming of the projects. So like when I go out and split a cord of firewood, if it would take me an hour to split a cord of firewood with the Yappa, it takes me 3 hours to film it. So the way I see it is I'm getting paid to spend that extra 2 hours screwing around with the cameras, and then I've got another couple hours in editing. So yes, it is nice to be able to work while I'm doing these things and getting these projects done around the house, but it is still a lot of work. And I will tell you, the last 2 months I've put in well over my old 40 hours a week doing YouTube. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this one, I hope you guys hit that subscribe button, click the like button, and I hope to see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.